2 turkeys. We're going to give one away on November 1st, right there that week, and then we're going to give one away right prior to Thanksgiving, and I'm going to cook the bird for you the day before Thanksgiving. You come and pick up your birds. Now, Toby Hill has an excellent turkey. I should know, last year they must have sold millions, maybe 2 million of them. I carried them. Okay, now, what we're going to do is we're going to get these chopped garlics into the hot olive oil here. I put the oil in. I want to get it warm over here before I go in. Okay, now, while that's working, I'm going to bring over my meat. There was a nice sale on the meat up at the Toby, so I grabbed a bunch, and I'll make myself a nice meatball and meatloaf out of it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do both of them at one time, okay? I'm going to make the meatballs and the meatloaf at one time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the meatballs first, then I'm going to change the way it tastes just a little bit, okay, for the meatloaf. So what we're going to do here, and by the way, I'm going to show you a special way to cook your meatballs. Now, you won't see them finishing on this show, okay, because it's going to take a little while. But the idea is going to be there for you, and you just follow through, and trust me, it will work. Now, I'm not the guy that pulls the stuff out that he made a day before and shows it to you. I make it for you right then and there, fresh. That's how we've always worked, and that's how we're going to work. Now, you can take any kind of pepper. I'm taking a frying pepper here. These are sweet, they're tasty. Have a little bit of spice to them, just a little pepper background, but nothing that you can't handle. Okay, I'm going to pop that in there. I want to say hi to all my friends in town here. I want to thank everybody for being very supportive through my time of ordeal last week. Those of you that were there know what we're saying. Those that weren't still know what I'm saying. Now, I'm going to make this one a little bit spicy, so I'm putting 1 fresh red. Now, this is a sweet hot. If you eliminate the seeds, it's not too bad, but it's still there. The warmth is there. Now, in the meantime, let me take the garlic, put it into the oil. You see how it's bubbling away in there? That changes the flavor of it, folks. Okay? Now, while that's toasting, I have a number 10 can of tomatoes. Now, what I want to do is I want to take my fingers through here and just break them up. Whoa, just a little slightly. I hope we don't have any equipment around that landed on. We have insurance, right? Keep going, okay, you mash these up. Now, if I was a really fancy kitchen, I'd have one of them big machines that make doing, they make the noises and stuff. But since we're a poor kitchen, just a poor, helpless little old kitchen over here, cooking some good grub for friends. Now, we'll take this over, put it right in with our toasted garlic, okay? Now I'll take some tomato puree and put that in with it. Now, you don't have to use number 10 cans, folks. You could use the small cans, the number 5s or the number 2s. Now I'm going to put in my chopped green onion, and some parsley, some of Chester County's finest homegrown parsley. Now, while that's working, let me come over here and give this a stir. Put everything in there, and I'll grab some of my special blend that I always tell you about. Put a little of that in there. Now, I want that to come to a boil, okay? I turn that up, and I'll just let it rock and roll a bit. Now I'm going to come over to my box, find my eggs, put some eggs in here. Now, for this kind of volume, I'm going to use a whole lot of eggs. That should be enough. 8 should do it. Okay, I'll put these to the side. And next, I'm going to take some breadcrumbs. Just throw a few in. You don't need a whole lot. Now, I like my special blend. Throw that in. Okay? Now my special blend has oregano in it, and it has the garlic and the peppers and the granulated onion. Okay, now I'm gonna come in here with your hand, get your hands in there. It's one of those jobs where you just have to get into it, folks. You just gotta dig down into this bad boy and start mixing up. Yep, one got away from us. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make meatballs, but we're gonna put the meatballs into the sauce. While the sauce is cooking, it's going to poach the meatball. And what we're going to get out of that is a very tender flavor from meatball, because the flavor from the tomato sauce will enter the meatball, and the flavor from the meat will enter the tomato sauce. So it's going to go in two different directions, okay? Now, I made a very simple blend here, folks. I didn't go crazy. You know, everybody can make them better. They can put grated cheese in them. They can do anything they want. My blended crumbs had the grated cheese in there. I like using an Italian-style blended crumb. It puts the instant flavor into it and makes it simple for you at home. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry this over here. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Okay? Now, I'm going to make serious meatball, okay? I'm going to make them so this way when I do a sandwich here at the shop, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-scoop some of these so I can just show you how I'm going to do this. But when I make a sandwich with these, all I need to use is 2. I don't have to use a whole lot of them. And plus, you know, you're getting a homemade meatball this way. You're not getting some inferior product. Now, I don't need the scooper anymore. I showed you all about how big they're going to be. The rest is just up to me to get through this and leave enough in here to make my meatloaf. I still have enough in here that I can sell some tonight to the folks that want to eat the meatball. It's a nice spicy meatball. Now my birthday's coming up this October. So on the 17th here, we're going to have some friends by. If you'd like to come by and say hi at the Happy B-Day and toast a beer with the Uncle Bunk, come on. You know, you'd be looking for some fun. Always. I'd like to say hi to Two Pots. I hope your trip down to the rendezvous was fun and profitable. Okay. We're looking good here. The pot's getting full. I want to leave enough for a meatloaf. Now, what we're going to do is take the rest of this over to here, okay? And I'm going to add some ketchup to it. All right? Can you get a good shot of that? All right. Now, we take this. We take this and we mix it up with the ketchup in it, okay? That helps change the flavor in this. Then we go get ourselves a pan that we can roast it in. Now I'm going to take this out, put it down here for a second because I want to change the shape. Okay. Put it in here, a nice pan. Now, this is a trick that me and my buddy Mark McNally and Leon Vaughn used to do when we did our prep at the Macjon restaurant at High and Minor. We used to take it and rub it with ketchup real good, okay? Then take bacon and put the bacon over it. Now the bacon's going to cook flavor right into this meat. It'll really make it tasty, tasty, folks. Between the ketchup and the bacon, it just makes this the finest tasting meatloaf. I can't tell you. We'd make these things and me and Mark would hit that stuff where we'd be eating it before it even got out to the dining room. Half of that thing would be gone, it seems sometimes. We'd be looking at each other getting fatter and fatter and happier as we munched along. Okay, now, take this, And I like to put just a little bit of my special blend on it. Okay, now we'll put that right in here in the oven. And I have my oven up all the way because my oven runs a little slow. I would cook that at about 400 degrees, and depends on how big your loaf is, I would check it. If you have a meat thermometer, you can put it in and you can see when it gets to about medium, you should be done. Now, I want to show you something real simple and easy here. What I have here are some fresh peppers. What we do is we take some olive oil, throw the olive oil on it, some of my garlic special blend, okay, that has the seasonings, and we just take it right from there, we pop it in the oven, and we roast them. And what will happen in about 15 minutes, they'll start to break down and flatten out a little bit on you, or puff up first, and then they'll come down when they cool. You take them and you put them in olive oil and vinegar with some chopped parsley and garlic, and you chill them down, and then you lay them out in a salad bowl on your dining room table next to your bread and butter, and it's a wonderful add-on for a meal. Now, I talked about French fries. I make the finest French fry in the world, bar none. Okay? And there isn't a restaurant around here that uses this system. I want you to try this at home. This is called a Boardwalk French fry. You know when you're at the shore and you're tasting fresh French fries, they're really good. And you're saying to yourself, why are they so good? I'll tell you why. They pull them fresh. Just like that, okay? Then they take them from there and they put them in hot water, like a boiling hot water, and you blanch them. Now what happens when you blanch them? The starches and the sugars come to the surface of the potato where it was cut. Okay? Now the trick is to get those starches and sugars to caramelize and get crunchy when you cook your potato. Have you noticed when you've made potatoes at home before that after you fried them and you took them out, they tasted really good, but after about 2 to 3 minutes, they started to get limp and feel soggy. Well, I'm going to show you how to stop that from happening. Okay, so I put these, you have to put them in for a minute or two, folks. You can't rush it. Okay, now I could have some to the side and say, and this is what it looks like then, but I can't do that for you. You won't get the gist of what I'm trying to show you here. When I take this out, I'm going to shake off the excess water, and I'm going to lightly sprinkle them with flour. Now what happens is the flour marries with the starch and sugar on the outside of the potato, and it gives them something to bond to with the gluten of the flour. When it hits the oil and it gets past a certain temperature, the sugar caramelizes and bonds with the gluten in the flour, and that's how you get the crunchiness. Okay? Now I explained to you the chemical reason why it happens, the reaction. Let's see it in application now. Okay? Okay, now I'm going to shake off the excess water here. Okay? I had turned my fryer on. Now I'm just going to show you this. Okay? Just a little bit of flour. Just a tiny bit. You see what I just did? Folks, you're going to be making the best French fries in the world. And I'm sorry that I gave this recipe out. I'll tell you why. McDonald's and everybody else is probably going to want this bad boy because this one's right on. There ain't a potato around this town that tastes like that. Until, of course, I come up with another one. Is that the way it usually is? Okay, well, while we're waiting for them to come out, I'm going to get myself a little bit of a ketchup cup. Have you noticed, I don't have a whole lot of dishes and stuff in front of you all today, folks. But we got the meatloaf in the oven, we got the peppers working, and we got the meatballs. Now you can see that it's starting to boil here. And if you look, they're starting to turn color. But you don't want to stir it too much because you don't want to break up the meatballs. If you get in there, you get down to the bottom, and you ride your spoon real slow so you don't bust up anything. Okay, folks? Remember that. Or you'll end up with meat sauce rather than meatball, okay? Now, we have a couple of more minutes with that. Let me check my peppers and see how they're doing. Give them a shake. They're sizzling away. Give them a shake. Now that meatloaf that I made will take about an hour to cook. but it's my special tonight, so it's going to be nice and perfect when it comes out. Let me give these a stir. Aren't they beautiful? See how they're starting to brown and take the shape? Well, that's what you want. 2 of those inside of a roll, folks, is more than enough for a great sandwich. Now remember, get your postcards in if you want to have your free turkey for Thanksgiving. Only 2 lucky families are going to be drawn. One in the beginning of November and one right before Thanksgiving. And I will cook the bird for you. If there's anything else you'd like me to tag in on it, we can work that out. If we have some sponsors out there that would like to donate other products that we could use for Thanksgiving in relationship with that, such as a pie or a cake or whatever from your company, we'd love to pass it on with the contest. Get a hold of Walter Livingston at this number right here on the screen if you can see that, and we'll get in touch with you. Okay, now we're doing good over here. They're starting to brown up. You can't push them. If you push them before they're done, what's going to happen is the potato's going to be raw in the middle and it's going to be crunchy on the outside, but you're not going to get the full flavor of the sugars that come to the top. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Get into this pot again. There you go. Oh man, they're looking great. Now, you'll know when it's getting done because the oil from the meat will come to the top of the surface of the pot. All right? Now you serve them in an Italian roll with some cheese over them, and you've got a great meatball grinder. Okay, now let's see what we have here. Get a plate. That's about the finest looking French fry, folks, you're ever going to get. It's called a Boardwalk Fry. Macjon makes them fresh for you. Right here. In his own kitchen. I'll tell you what. The tip of the day, after you make these, run out the back door with them so you can eat them. But all your friends are going to be following you. God, these are good. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Macjon Cooking Show. I'll see you later. Oh. God, they're good. Come here, guys.